So finding a side hustle could be right for you, but there's some advice I have for you to make sure that you find the right one so that you don't waste your time and you actually make money. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Neil Winteregg, joined as always by Dr. Craig Winteregg, CEO of Matterhorn Business Development. And you can find out all about his book, Fun at Work, down in the description below. And if you're new around here, be sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel because we have all kinds of very good, interesting advice that might help you with your business.
At least we think it's very interesting.
Well, our 5 fans in the comment section seem to like it. No, we have more than that. Now, what we're going to talk about today is a question that we get asked sometimes from people who are maybe successful, but they want to make more money, or they see an opportunity and they wonder, should I take it? And that is on the idea of having a side hustle or maybe a second revenue stream or something along that line to be able to make extra money off of without maybe having to make it a full-time job. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we wanted to talk about here today.
Like, what would be the best side hustle?
How do you find one, or should you have a side hustle? Things of that nature.
So, first of all, as far as if you should have a side hustle, I think having a side hustle is fine. And we have side hustles. We do. Now, a side hustle to me, by definition, is something that you're doing on the side to make some extra money. Now, if I have an employee who has a side hustle, I'm totally fine on that. But then I'm going to ask them what their intentions are. And I need to make sure that their side hustle isn't going to be a distraction from their day job.
Correct.
So from the employer's point of view, I'm completely fine. It's all good if you have a side hustle. You're out there. I think that shows innovation, creativity, drive, energy. I think that's all a good thing. But then if your side hustle now and is going to interview with your day job, then I don't think that's good. So then you want to have a side hustle. From my viewpoint, if I find out that your side hustle is distracting you from the job that I'm paying you, whatever, $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 a year, I'm going to fire you. If I'm paying you that much money and now I'm finding that you're putting more time into your side hustle. And I think there's a little bit of a setup right now with this working from home thing.
Yeah.
So from an integrity standpoint, the best side hustle needs to be something that truly is a side hustle that does not interfere with your day job.
Yeah, and I actually started my own quote-unquote side hustle last year. When March, April last year came along, I lost one of my main activities that I was doing because I was a traveling public speaker and lecturer for a company. And so now that I was home and not traveling, I found myself with 2 or 3 extra days a week where I used to be gone. And so when those days would come around and now I'm not going to the airport and flying around place, I'm like, you know, I've got the rest of my life kind of sequestered into these days, and now I've got all this open time and I don't know what to do with myself. So I decided, well, you know what? There's an industry that I know. There's a guy that I know that I can get products and things from, and it's a guy that would want to work with me. So I set up a side hustle of starting my own business on those days and putting that time into it to where instead of just sitting around doing nothing, I now had an actual business I could create that didn't require set hours, set times, set things that I had to do only on certain dates and certain times. So that was my new business I started. That was a side hustle.
Right. And by definition, side hustle would be part-time, on the side, spare time, that kind of thing. But you said something that's critical, is something that you knew.
Exactly.
And so for me, the best side hustle is something that you know, something that you like, something you're passionate about, something that's going to be fun, like fun at work. So yes, have a side hustle. The answer to the question, what's the best side hustle? Something that you like, something that you enjoy, something that you can make money at. Now, I'm assuming, and maybe I'm sitting here looking at this, I don't know if this is a safe assumption. If you're going to have a side hustle, you're going to sell.
Well, that's all I do.
Right. So Neil and I, we can sell. Abby can sell. I mean, we can have side hustles, and we can keep our side hustles from overlapping, interfering with each other, crashing and burning one. So if you're talking about having a side hustle, you could have a side hustle just being a paid employee for something. It would basically be like a second part-time job.
Well, let me tell you how I picked mine and why.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I got offers to work at other places, but I knew that it was very rigid and very set as to when I would be there, what I would do.
9 to 5.
Yeah, and I wasn't going to commit to something like that. So I took my skill set, which is communication, salesmanship, customer service, and just general overall pleasing people sort of an
Just
aspect.
overall awesome guy.
Overall
all those
amazing,
qualities, all those incredible
spectacular.
qualities.
There's actually too many adjectives that I can put on my business
We can make a whole
card.
video about how awesome
yeah.
Neil is.
But what I did was I found something in an industry that I didn't actually know. Mm-hmm. Now, I knew enough to know that I can sell it. It's a product I like. It's a product that I have experience with as a consumer, but it's not something that I actually understood. So what did I do? I taught myself everything I needed to know about that product and about the competitors, because I realized how much smoother and easier of a sale mine was over the competition. But all I had to do was start applying my genuine skill set of salesmanship, customer service, communication to that product, and I would be successful. And that's what I did. So I picked a product that I could take my skill set and automatically kind of advance me to the top. Instead of deciding that I was going to become a part-time mechanic. Okay. I know a lot about cars. I know a lot about how they understand, but for me to become a part-time mechanic would be a failing endeavor, because it would take me so much longer to learn how to actually be a mechanic. So I took my sales ability and put it into something that I could sell. And I'm not talking like,
And it's important to me that this was a product that you knew.
Yeah.
And it's a product that you were using.
It was a product I was a consumer of that I knew enough of to know that it works. I just have to start selling it. Not something that, I just decided like I'm going to start selling widgets, even though I didn't know what a widget was, but I thought I could make a lot of money selling widgets. I can't do that. I picked something I knew and knew I could be successful with. And so on a part-time basis, I've been able to be successful in my side hustle, applying something I already had the core understandings of.
Well, and here's the other thing that I like about a side hustle is generally it doesn't take any money to get in.
No, very little.
Yeah, your investment out of pocket to get into your side hustle was very, very little.
Correct.
And you could start making some money right away.
And I'll just say that what I decided to create was not necessarily like an MLM type of a product. That might work for you, and if it does, then fine. But what I decided to do was take a product or a service that somebody already has around me that was underserved, underpromoted, undersold, and knowing that if I put my creativity behind it and put my brand name on it, I could go out and start actually promoting and selling on my own. And that's how I created my own business out of it. It is a unique product that I knew worked, but was not necessarily known in the area as being a product.
Yeah, and so let me just give an example. Let's say that I like to kayak. Full disclosure, I've never been in a kayak. All right. Let's say that I like to kayak. On every Saturday morning, we have our kayak group, or on Sunday, and then we go weekends, we take kayak trips. And there's gear. And there's going to be, there's even like long-term kayak trips. And you got the tent that fits in the kayak and the blah. And so I say, hey, I got Joe over at the kayak store. You should go get this from him and this from him. And I'm sending the business over to Joe. And one day I go up to Joe and I'm like, hey, Joe, what if I just sell all this crap and you give me a 10% commission? Because I could put together this package and I've got this club and then I want to start this podcast and blah. That would be a side hustle. It's already something that I understand. It's something that's fun. And then I can go to the owner of the business and now I'm kind of like a remote sales rep, and that'll be a great side hustle. Now, maybe I'm really good and I'm sending Joe all kinds of business and I get a podcast going and I have 5,000 followers, and one day Joe goes, dude, we ought to just partner. You rock. I hate sales. And so then your side hustle can become a day job. So all of that can evolve, but there are a few basics here that I'm not going to repeat that we've already covered. So
that would be a great example of something that you can do, that you're already doing or involved with, that you realize you can take your creativity and skill set to start making extra money on the side. And so if you can find a side hustle that fits those parameters, I think you should do it. I think it's something that you can do. But if, like I said, if you decide I'm going to start making extra money on the side by, being a mechanic, I got a friend with a shop, but you don't know anything about being a mechanic, it's not going to fit your skill set to the point where putting time into it is going to make you the money that you want. So find something that you already have a skill set with and find a way to partner up with or team up with or do something that's going to be able to make you extra money. And I think your side hustle will be very successful. If you found this helpful, again, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe down below for more amazing content like this, and consider joining our YouTube membership program to take your business to the next level.